play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bombs going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bomb stats think we're gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was gonna be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming series. It's playoff time, and we're gonna see tonight a Division D West match coming at you in the semifinals between number 2 ranked Clouded Minds and number 6 ranked Randy Newman. Randy Newman overcoming their opponents last week. Let's take a look at these standings here. Overcoming Disturbance, the number 3 ranked team. And of course, Clouded Minds defeating the Baddest Dudes in round 1 to make their way into the semifinals. The winner of this game, or at least this series, is going to go on to the Coastal Finals, where they will face off against the winner between Full Meta Jacket and Bloodbath and Beyond, which of course that game is actually going to be coming tomorrow. So just a quick pop-up here on the standings. We do see Randy Newman there was tied with the Baddest Dudes, but take a look at these points. Only 1 point separating them out from even equaling out with Luciodology and Bloodbath and Beyond at number 4. Disturbance at 18. Clouded Minds at 20, so not a huge amount of points like we've seen in some other divisions, separating out the very top team from even the middle of the pack. But we do have our map information, so let's take a look here. So we've got bans coming out on Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple from Clouded Minds. Randy Newman banning out the Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb and Spider Queen. And our first map is going to be on Towers of Doom. And that was selected by Randy Newman. Now, take a look. We've got a new Randy Newman logo, because why not? It's what you do. Welcome, Rackham, Artstock. Glad you could join us. Let me just pass along if you want me to see. Oh, well, whatever. I don't need to see chat. And for whatever reason, my Twitch chat connection is not working very well, so we're gonna adjust where I've got everything so I can actually see what's going on in Twitch chat. That should work out just fine. And let's get into the draft here. Game number 1 of the Division D West semifinals on Towers of Doom between Clouded Minds and Randy Newman. All right, so our first ban coming out onto the Sylvanas, followed up by the Blaze. And they have the teams on the wrong side, so let's go ahead and swap that. All right, there we go. Randy Newman's on the left, Clouded Minds on the right. And we're going to see the follow-up ban onto Abathur and then Kael'thas. Now, Kael'thas is one I expect. Abathur's not one that I've seen a lot in Division D, but that doesn't mean he doesn't see that play. But our first pick coming out onto the Stukov. And a very quick response coming out from Randy Newman and Nandy Ruman. This is going to be a fun time. Let's see. Nandy Ruman. I gotta update all of these names so that they're actually listed correctly here. And we're gonna see Arthas and Li Ming. So Arthas is an interesting pick into this. They don't have anything really so far that Arthas is going to provide tons of value on. Maybe the Cassia. But Li Ming on Towers of Doom can get a lot of value with the poke potential. I'm going to see an Imperious ban onto the solo lane. No Butcher. That, you know, it's kind of funny. I was actually thinking that with them taking the Arthas, and also with the double blind, that they might actually be looking for something like a Butcher. So it doesn't surprise me to see Clouded Minds pull that ban. I kind of want to take a look. Let's see if Butcher has made his way into Division D at all. Like, maybe this is a thing. But we're going to see Raynor and Jaina as the final DPS picks here for Randy Newman. Let's see, the Butcher has not made it into the meta, so, or at least into the games that they have played so far. Maybe they played it in a scrim or something. Let's see, is it... And we're gonna see Phoenix coming from Venus and Mal'Ganis from Tiger. Oops. Write this down, okay. So what do we get out of Randy Newman now? We need a healer, so Oriel's been coming into a lot of things. She could probably do just fine against this. We're gonna see an Uther. So, alright, interesting setup. See what we got here. Zednam, everybody's on the right heroes? Nobody moved? Nobody moved, it looks like. I have no idea on the Randy Newman sign. We'll just have to kind of deal with that if any of them switched around. That's Raynor. Randall. Peter. And who's Jaina? Because they did, I think, switch around. There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Division D West. Semifinals, Clouded Minds versus Randy Newman on Towers of Doom. Let's get into this game. Had an interesting time of it earlier when we were casting Division A. Had some connection issues, so hopefully those are clean and clear and we don't have any craziness with that. All right, on the left, we've got Randy Newman. Let's get these introductions done because they're going to take a moment. We got Randy Newman on Raynor, Randy Newman on Jaina, Randall Newman on Uther, Nandy Newman on Cassia, and Johanna is going to be played by Randy Newman. And that would be your Randy Newman team. On the right, we have Clouded Minds. Zednam going to be playing Arthas, Venus on Phoenix, Swing on the Li Ming, Star Knight on Stukov, and Tiger on Mal'Ganis. So it looks like maybe they're putting Mal'Ganis in the solo lane and Arthas in the group. So very nice mount synergy here for, especially for Clouded Minds. But we do have 4 out of 5 crabs with a birthday Billy here for Randy Newman. So, you know, it's close. 4 out of 5 gets you 80%. That's a passing grade anyways. So Zednam here is going to be the frontline target. But he is pretty healthy and just fine. Now, we do have Mal'Ganis holding on to his ultimate. His ultimate. Hasn't gotten to the ultimate yet. Holding on to his level 1 talent. So it's going to be interesting to see what Mal'Ganis picks up. But we do have charge strikes here for the Cassia. So being able to stay onto the Cassia, slow down her attacks, will help out significantly with that. And Astral Presence, but Zednam in a little bit of danger here. This is a 4v1. But that slow coming out from the Frozen Tempest, helping a ton to allow him to make it away to safety there. And both teams now working on their siege camp. You know, with as much damage as they did onto the others, I'm kind of surprised that Randy Newman didn't just walk in and maybe try to take this camp from the Li Ming and Stukov, because they also saw Phoenix in the bot lane. But they're going to grab their siege camp and head on to the bottom. Time to feed, so getting that additional damage whenever hitting an enemy hero. I'm sorry, extra healing whenever hitting an enemy hero. We've got Tiger just hanging out in the bush, just dodging that javelin. In the siege camp, they're going to meet up. Looks like one did make it through, so half of the wall's down. Randall Newman, Uther there, getting pretty low. It was pretty close. That Li Ming orb could have been the end of our friend Uther, at least early in the game. Level 4's available for both teams, and Mal'Ganis having to back away here as Raynor and Cassia going to be able to get onto this point, but it looks like we're going to have a rotation from Phoenix and Li Ming. So this looks like Clouded Minds is going to be able to maybe not pick this up. Never mind, Li Ming is nearby, but Uther coming in now, so this is 3 versus 3. But Phoenix has no shield. Now it's a 4 versus 3, and Stukov is in the bot lane, so that's a nice easy pickup for Randy Newman, being able to come in and steal that camp away. And so far, one sapper makes it through. Did get the wall down to about 20% maybe. And they are able to clear this up here in the bot now. Stukov, and it's going to be Arthas versus Johanna. And that's going to take a while for them to take. As Cassia picks up for Randy Newman and Li Ming picking up for Clouded Minds here, we now have got the full team of Randy Newman in the fight here. Li Ming coming in, but can Tiger make it out here? The big sleep, but that's going to be the first blood of the game, sending Mal'Ganis to the graveyard and giving Randy Newman now the potential to try to get this, although the stall's coming out between Stukov's lurking arm and the long-range root coming out from Arthas. And, oh, by the way, the occasional orb to the face. So we do have Astral Presence, and it looks like Li Ming is going into that orb build. So every time she hits somebody at long range, she'll actually be able to get another Arcane Orb at pretty much a near instant. Not quite reset, but, you know, it's about 2 seconds. So by the time the orb actually hits, that, you know, generally is back up by then. Cassia going to come over here and look, and there's only a Li Ming here right now. She's going to go in, just barely does not get the kill as Li Ming able to teleport away. Silence going out onto the Cassia, and the resets coming in for Li Ming, and that's going to be now a siege camp for both teams here, one-on-one. And Cassia feeling the sting of a quick rotation from Clouded Minds there. So we're sitting at 1 and 1. 1 kill to 1 kill. Let's take a look at our solo laners here for a short bit. They don't get enough love, and there's not enough action going on elsewhere in the lane, so let's see what they're doing for a moment. As we do see the boss pop up onto the screen, that's a fun animation to watch. And here, welcome everybody coming over from Mark Zombie. Hope that your Div C game ended well, that it was good times and fun between, who was it, Die for Vision and Boogan Squad, right? So, I want to know, but I don't want to give any spoilers away to anybody in chat who doesn't want to know. So, yeah, so we'll just leave it at that. It looked like it was going to a game 3, so good job on that. But here we go. So Randy Newman setting up at the bottom here. Uther trying to get the channel, but was pushed away by Li Ming. But once again, Uther I'm sorry, that's not Uther, that's Jaina. They're similar. Was in danger. Now, Mal'Ganis able to chase her down and secure the kill onto Jaina. Zednam getting the impale here from Cassia, or Fending Strikes rather. Fend? I think it's Fend. But the reset's coming out and allowing them to get the kill onto the Johanna and the Cassia. And I'm kind of surprised here because I thought I don't remember who it was. I thought one of the people from Randy Newman had stayed here to channel this, but they actually walked away in the middle of that fight. And as such, that's going to be 2 altars being picked up by Clouded Minds, allowing them to take the lead 32 to 28 now. Unofficial mark rate spam for sure, right? Game 3 and one of the teams won. Well, good deal. Glad to hear it. All right. Thank you very much, Slexia, for the 69 bits. Glad you could join us this evening here. I believe you also had a cast between... I don't remember who your cast was. Crap. Ah, well. So, Jaina getting onto the siege camp here. Randy Newman on the Rainer here, getting chased down a little bit. Just pushed off. And we're going to see a boss call here with level 10s coming up from Clouded Minds. Interesting. I don't think I've ever looked at the boss camp. It says defeat this camp to launch 4 shots at the enemy's core. So there you go. But with the boss call, that's going to give the siege camp in the bot lane over to Randy Newman. And they're not quite level 10 yet, so they have to be at least a little bit careful of this rotation coming down from Clouded Minds. With the double camp that gets them the wall, but here they come. Stukov throwing Johanna back into the group. But she's got her iron skin, and this time now the root going out. Nandy Rumen on Cassia, they're getting caught, and Phoenix throwing out the Purification Salvo. I don't think quite had anybody close enough in that, but they do get the kill onto the Uther. Anyways, close enough to get the slow value. And Ultimate's now available as well for Randy Newman. So we'll see if they feel they can really push into this and get any kind of stalling, but it doesn't look like it, and nor would I really expect them to. I mean, especially with a Li Ming throwing those orbs out. I mean, you can see right now that Jaina, man, these guys, Jaina going back because one orb took her down so much health. What on earth is that? Is that a bed and a cat looking up at the bed? I have no idea, Afish. But anyway, Weena's down in the bot lane, working on that tower fort, the wall. Tower fort, tower. Yeah, tower. And now, coming in with these rotations, they do get the root onto Johanna, so keeping Phoenix safe there. Divine Shield being popped onto Uther, and Phoenix coming in, chasing down, trying to see if they can get this kill. Frozen Tempest keeping him nice and slow for the team. But it looks like maybe they're able to pull this out. And Zednan popping the army, but pulling back. I think originally he was going to make use of the army to go in and at least get that tower down. But here with Cassie coming in the flank, that could be a dangerous proposition. We got Rainer up here in the top. Let's take a look. How are our XP totals looking up here, huh? So... a little bit ahead there for the Clouded Minds. The team that killed the other team's core won the game. Ogle, you know what? You should write. Should definitely write. All right, so Siege Camp once again here picked up by Randy Newman. The camps had generally been pretty well covered by Randy Newman here. So we'll see how much value they get out of that going forward. But this is a 5v4. There's no Rainer here. This is a huge fight for Clouded Minds as the damage going out onto the Uther takes him out of play. And that is very likely enough for them, to get the channel here as Stukov was already there. And they're going to make their way over to their siege camp. 16 to 32 with level 13s available now. We've got Glass Cannon from Li Ming here as well, so if they can ever get onto the Li Ming, she could die very quickly. But they don't really have strong dive. I mean, Cassia probably can't really get to Li Ming. She'd have to go through Arthas and Mal'Ganis, not to mention her own teleports. And with the siege camp here and being able to see that 2 of their heroes are not here, Clouded Minds making their way closer to this fort, looking to get the siege camp pressure. And there's that army again, making sure that they've got pseudo minions to tank for the fort here. The sleep got interrupted twice there. First by Condemned, then by Hammer of Justice. But Tiger going back in. A lot of damage there. He's using that Carrion Swarm to continue that. And Raynor getting very close, pulling out the Divine Shield. Hyperion also used there to try to zone out Clouded Minds as much as they possibly could. But other than the Cassia, I mean, the only other tool that Randy Newman has, and we did see the siege camp up here in the top here, get partway down on the fort. But the only other tool they've got for that engage would be a Johanna Falling Sword, and I don't think that's what you want to do, sending Johanna deep into the backline by herself and exposing the rest of your team. So getting onto that Li Ming, even with that glass cannon, is going to be very difficult. That only took me 5 minutes to say. Triple altars here, so we do see Randy Newman able to pick up that bottom fort here, but we've got Cassia throwing out that lightning orb, the ball lightning, and Phoenix coming in, getting his purification salvo once again going out. It looks like so far 2 altars picked up by Clouded Minds, and in response 1 altar picked up by Randy Newman, and the kill secured on to Arthas. 8 to 28. We're going to see Randy Newman make a boss call here. And this is a little bit questionable because Stukov has Flailing Swipe. And Mal'Ganis knows they don't care. They're just walking away. They're just going to come down here and get the bottom siege camp and see if they can't start working on the bottom fort again. I don't know. I'm a little surprised. I think they could have walked in, done a Flailing Swipe, and been just fine. But there's that Flailing Swipe I was just talking about here. Venus very low, has no shield, and is sitting at about half health here. Let's pop up these talents here for a moment. S16's coming up, but the big silence in this root, I think it was, out onto the Johanna is going to secure that kill, and that's going to give, with the Army of the Dead here, a nice, easy, comfortable walk for Clouded Minds, trying to chase down this Uther, not quite able to get it. Almost able to catch up to the Raynor, though. So, even without this, they have a 2-altar game at this point. And it just so happens there are 2 altars on the board. They could almost 4-man defend top and just leave somebody to get the camp, but they're gonna elect to get their 5-man up here, gather the 5 points, and then I don't see any reason why they don't just go siege camp, because they only need 3 more points. So get the siege camp, and then Flailing Swipe is up. They walk it up, they get it close, they pop off Flailing Swipe, and win the video game. And I think that I don't even know if there's anything that Randy Newman can do about it. Johanna, that's the only way. If Johanna happens to throw out her Unstoppable right when the Stukov does the Flailing Swipe, or if he gets too close and they're able to kill him, then that also works. So we'll see. Here they come. Mal'Ganis riding that line close. Pumpkin Sappers on the line. We see Stukov going forward. There's the knockback, but it's not quite enough. They're right at the line still. One gets through, but they're focusing on the team, and they're going to secure that kill onto both tanks, but the resets coming in from Li Ming get 3. But that's it. There are no more Sappers. The Sappers did go down. So a 4-kill trade, and there are more Sappers. They're back. And an altar. I think this is GG, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think Cassia has enough in the tank to take on 3 and also somehow prevent the Sappers from coming through. And she does not, in fact, have enough in the tank. She ends up going down, and the GG's being called by Randy Newman here, as these Pumpkin Sappers will go on to secure victory for Clouded Minds. All right, 4 kills to 12. An overall, somewhat low statistics game, as we didn't quite even get up to level 20. Not too far off. I think it was around level 18. Eight-bit output. Is that Dragon? Is that Dragon in chat? From Probius? Looks like just getting level 16 here for... No, they had 16. So Zednam just freeballing it on the level 16 there. Didn't even need that level 16. Didn't even care. All right. And I am joined tonight by my co-host Al. This is my good buddy. He is the goodest boy. I figured I've had Alpha, I've had Alice. Gotta give Al a chance to show his face around here. Let everybody know who the biggest dog is anyways. Good puppy with his one ear down. All right, so let's check in here. Let's see what Randy Newman wants to do. Do I even have... Let's see. See what they say. If they would like map pick or first pick. So I'm kind of interested if they were... Okay, they're going to shrines. Let's go ahead and update that. So I'm kind of interested if they were planning to go with the Butcher. You know, just cause. With that ban. With that build. It seems like they probably were thinking something like that anyways. So, Slexia, how did your games go tonight? Were they long and fulfilling? Just writing down the teams here so I remember later or I'll forget. I've already forgotten half of them. Alright, they do have the teams on the right side, so that's good. Let's see. Okay, this is on Infernal Shrines. Left the lobby. Why are people leaving the lobby? The comeback of the year, huh? Could be. This is you cannot have a reverse sweep if you don't start with a loss. It's not possible. You got to lose the first game to get a reverse sweep. All right, looks like we've got Clouded Minds making their way into the draft. Not the draft, the lobby. So for those of you coming here to watch Division D, just as a reminder, tomorrow we've got Bloodbath and Beyond versus Full Meta Jacket. And that's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. That's going to be found on Ziltoid's channel at twitch.tv/LDZiltoid. Make sure you go over there, throw him a follow, and enjoy the cast. It's like we're just missing Weenus, I think. So if you're Randy Newman, what do you do on Infernal Shrines? How are they gonna change things up here? Last game, they banned out the Blaze, Kael'thas, and Imperious. They're not first pick, which means they get 2 and then 3. So what kind of crazy meme comps could we see? We could see a Murky, because they could see a last pick Murky. We could see, in theory, a Cho'Gall. I think this is probably one of his more acceptable maps. We could see Juice Pirates here. What other things could we see? We could see just a straight up Sylvanas push. If they don't ban it, because Sylvanas was banned by Clouded Minds earlier. Just checking in to see where our good friend Venus has gone to. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Venus is being slow. Okay, fair enough. Oh, you know what? A 5 healer comp, that would be interesting. It could happen. Could happen. I don't know if that's in Randy Newman's wheelhouse or not, but it could be interesting. I'm gonna have to figure out where to put my next BlizzCon artwork. I could put it. You can't even see the one that's right behind me. The place wasn't moist enough for the weenus. Fair enough. Makes sense to me. Seems legit. Looks like we are set to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to draft Division D West. Semifinals between Clouded Minds and Randy Newman. Let's get this going. All right, and right out of the gate, keeping with the Sylvanas ban. All right, so Randy Newman, got to make some changes. Stukov was pretty strong in that. Do they feel that Stukov was a problem? Not enough of a problem to make it a first ban, at least. They'd rather take out the Blaze. If I'm looking at their team comp from last game, I don't feel like the tanks were insurmountable. The Li Ming got a lot of damage, but I think on Infernal Shrines, it's less likely we're going to see a Li Ming. Phoenix did some work, but I don't think most of his Purification salvos were able to hit when they were slowed, so I think they were just baseline damage. So I really think that the Stukov was the primary value there. And it would seem that perhaps Clouded Minds agrees with me in that. So I'm kind of surprised to see the Blaze Kael as opposed to getting rid of the Stukov. But this time they are not taking any chances with those bans. And we do, in fact, see the Butcher. And the immediate response with the Arthas, which 100 makes sense. 100% makes sense. Calling fresh meat, Artstock, you nailed it, buddy. Before it even got on the stream. Good call. I already forgot about game one. So Arthas and Jaina picked up, so now we're going to have more slows. So it wouldn't surprise me to see... and Artstock just cut up. Wouldn't surprise me to see the Raynor switching teams here, playing for the side of Clouded Minds. Could even see the Phoenix again. We're going to see the Imperious ban. That was banned first game, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, so they're sticking with the same bans. So Swing gonna be going over from the Li Ming over to Jaina. And gonna see a Lucio ban. Gotta tell you, I think this music is absolutely perfect for draft. It's so good. Just makes it feel like there's supreme urgency here in this draft to make something happen. Oh, we're gonna see the Brightwing with the Genji. I don't know, Big Doo-Doo Head. You might need to look at Artstock there. Artstock had good calls. Let's see, that was Brightwing. So we do have either a bit of a swap in roles or just simply in the picks, and maybe they'll swap afterwards. So we don't have a solo laner really yet for the side of Randy Newman. They could kind of have the Brightwing solo lane if they do want to take the Uther. I don't know if they get solid kills though then. Like they could throw out the polymorph and work with that. They're not really great on wave clear either, so Chen doesn't have that great of wave clear either. So ultimately, Randy Newman going deep in on the kill comp, trying to get a kill out there. I don't know. I think that's going to be tough. Because Stukov can just throw down a silence on whoever Butcher goes to charge. Which means that if Genji is close enough with his Swift Strike, he can't get out. Butcher can't throw out his brand. He's going to be potentially slowed by Arthas. But it's a full... I mean, it's straight up full dive, right? I mean, they're... I don't know. The Stukov, once again, such a strong pick with what they've got. The silence, the flailing swipe, Rainer's got the penetrating round. Hell, even Jaina just drops a blizzard on him because they're all going to be in the same place, right? And the music ended at exactly the perfect time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 between Randy Newman on the left, Clouded Minds on the right. Let's get these teams introduced. We have Randy Newman on Johanna. I think I probably have that on the wrong person now. Nope, that's right. We've got Randall Newman on Butcher, Randy Newman on Brightwing, Nandy Newman on Genji, and Chen going to be played by Randy Newman. You're confused. I'm confused. On the right, we've got Clouded Minds. Zednam going to be playing Arthas. Star Knight on Stukov. Swing on Jaina. Rainer going to be played by Venus this round. And Tiger on Mal'Ganis. If this looks like a similar draft, it's because it is. Alrighty, what do we got here? So Butcher going into the block, trying to slow down the damage that could come out there from the Rainer primarily. But I'm interested. Is that just one attack? Yeah, I don't know. I can't really comment on Butcher talents because I have no idea. But this time we do see a different win here. Winged Guard giving the physical armor against the next enemy hero basic attack, and that makes a lot of sense going into the Butcher. And we're gonna have Brightwing picking up that greater polymorph. Low blow, I think that is, for Stukov. It is. Ace in the hole, of course, along with that Jaina. Although, interestingly enough, Arthas not picking a talent yet. There's the charge, the polymorph with the Swift Strike here. The silence, as I mentioned, going down. And not quite able to get the kill on Arthas. Just a bit outside. In 10 minutes, we're going to have a new meta. You know what? It could happen. It could happen. I mean, the Chen Butcher Genji combo could be the wave of the future. It's going to look like the old meta. Fair enough. All right. Well, we did see in the top lane there, Mal'Ganis versus Chen. That should be about as exciting as watching paint dry, I imagine. Pretty close. Siege Camp picked up in the mid by Clouded Minds, and with that awareness now of Johanna being in the mid lane, they're going to come down and pick up the bot siege as well. And again, as we kind of mentioned earlier, the wave clear here coming from Randy Newman is a little bit lacking, so it took him a little bit to even be able to pick up this siege camp. Now, if and when Butcher gets stacked, he's going to be able to take those out pretty quickly. And there's the charge onto Venus, but he realizes maybe that's not quite the best location to try to charge into. And so that's an interrupted charge. Butcher not yet having taken his level 4. There it is. Is that a reckless charge, right? Ruthless Onslaught. Okay, whatever it is. Ruthless Onslaught. Shaman Camp picked up here by Clouded Minds. That gets started here just a little bit before the Punisher Shrine is available here. And this is going to be an Arcane Punisher. So I believe that's ultimately the weakest of the 3 Punishers early game. We're going to see Clouded Minds get started on it here first. And I don't know... Do we see the physical armor here? Yeah, so Healing Pathogen gives 15 physical armor, so that's fine, especially with what the comp is here. Go Venus, he's my hero. Good positioning on that to make sure he stayed alive here. But again, look at this wave clear. Already 35 done. Chen up here in the top lane just soaking. Because really, I think they have an idea that they can't really fight into this until they can get Butcher stacked. And again, it's the weakest Punisher in the game at this point at under 4 minutes. So they should be able to clear this up pretty easily. And you even see even Clouded Minds saying, yeah, this isn't worth our time. So we've got Arthas in the mid lane, we've got Mal'Ganis in the top lane, and even Raynor in the bot lane, collecting as much soak as they can. The jump kick there over Arthas, Randy Newman may end up going down here. Does the phase shift not quite in time to be able to keep Chen alive. So we do have level 7s available now for both teams. Let's see here. So Siege Camp just coming up and Clouded Minds on top of it, knowing that they need to be here to get this going right away. And we've got Butcher up in the top lane working on the Shaman Camp. So timing wise here, that's gonna be too early to help with the to help with the shrine. Good check there by Star Knight, being mindful that Randy Newman was over there, knowing that it was due to come up. A lot of red health bars down here, but Butcher now showing up, so this is a 4v3 if they want to take it, but Clouded Minds ultimately just backing away, bringing Arthas in. Now, once Arthas gets here, this becomes a lot easier for them to do. He's got to be careful about the deflect from Genji, but the silence certainly helps with that. And that Frozen Tempest is going to make things a lot harder for Butcher. And you can see Nandy Rumen there having to Swift Strike away, and Butcher getting caught and deleted. That drops him down to 21 meat stacks. XP here. So currently Chen just very slightly behind the Mal'Ganis, just a few points. So keeping pretty solid between those two. And that's good for both of them, as they were able to... Let's see, Chen was able to soak while they were working on the Punisher. So level 10's now available here, so it is that Flailing Swipe. As mentioned, we've got the Army of the Dead, Ring of Frost, Carrion Swarm, and Hyperion coming out already there from Raynor. And looking to get this Butcher stack. Let's see, how's he looking? 28 stacks now, so that was one additional minion wave. And Chen, once again, just doing what he can to keep this going for them, keep their game alive. We do have Blessed Momentum there from the Johanna, so she's going to be able to get more of her abilities more often. Charge going out onto Arthas. There's the Lamb to the Slaughter, so he is nice and silenced, but the silence there from Stukov, as well as the Flailing Swipe, is going to allow Arthas to walk away just fine. So that's going to leave only the Storm Earth and Fire, of course Blink Heal, but that's not any lengthy cooldown. Carrion Swarm and Ring of Frost still available for each team here. So I like what Clouded Minds is doing. They're coming over, getting some pressure out of this. That's going to make it so that either Randy Newman is going to have to defend that at some point, or just accept that it's going to get some damage in. They're charging in onto the Rainer there. Already has the 15 armor. Silence coming out. Weena's trying to get away, but there's so many bodies here. As Chen really locking it down with the body blocks. Butcher is able to escape just barely, so a 1-for-0 trade there, but no meat being able to be picked up by Butcher as it was just too far away. So 20-11 currently here, as Butcher and Johanna both having to back, needing that health and mana. And the Shaman camp in the top lane starting to get that value. Already one tower down. But here they come, back into this. Randy Newman, Chen up in the top. We got Butcher coming in deep here, going after... Can't even tell who that is. Stukov? It is Stukov. He gets the silence, and that's going to be one dead healer. Stagger going out for Randy Newman, trying to keep him alive, but Chen is going to fall, and Butcher just popping off here, getting another kill. But that's only going to get him basically double where he was before. He was at 28, now he's up to 53, so not quite. But ultimately now, 28-32. This is 3 versus 3, but again, the Shrine Clear, definitely the advantage in the hands of Clouded Minds here. But not if Nandy Ruman can chase down Swing and get this kill. Not quite able to get there, but pushes Jaina off. So very close on the Shrine, 36-38. Both teams looking to get this finished. And it could go either way at this point. And it is Clouded Minds that gets it, but at the cost of an Arthas. And we do see Chen going in, trying to chase down the Jaina, but Star Knight has a Butcher chasing after. The sleep coming out from Tiger does keep Star Knight alive. Big Punisher stun there. A lot of damage going out onto Johanna. She doesn't have a lot of mana either, so... ultimately using that tap to help clear this up. Up in the top lane, though, that Shaman camp, total value. Getting all the way through this fort. And then that means if you're keeping track, Shaman camp 1, really big badass Punisher, so far, none. At least as far as the number of structures they've taken it down. And with the siege camp now in the bot lane, Clouded Minds looking to get their second fort out of this mid lane Punisher objective. Gonna see that poly out onto Mal'Ganis. So Butcher is was looking for something there. Did get put to sleep, I think, and that's gonna be a free kill onto Butcher from Jaina, and also the kill onto Genji. And I think that was just a little bit of maybe even a little bit too much patience. I think that if they had just gone right after that Mal'Ganis instead of trying to zip around, I think they probably could have taken out the Mal'Ganis and walked away with a free kill. What are our meat stacks at? 49. And we're at level 13. So Butcher is really struggling to get where he needs to be on the meat stacks right now. But last time they were at the Shrine, they were able to get within just a couple of the defenders. So if they can get a solid team fight again like they did on that mid-Shrine, they could certainly get a Punisher. The next Punisher up in the top lane is going to be a Mortar Punisher. And you know what? I feel like Mortar Punishers probably, for this team, if they can get one, probably will help them maybe the most. Maybe not. Frozen Punisher probably would have been best. But certainly Mortar Punisher, I think, provides a lot of value here for Randy Newman as, you know, the slow between the Brightwing polymorph, the Lamb to the Slaughter. If he can land that on somebody, the damage from the Punisher is going to be significant. Now, here we have Butcher getting caught here in vision, but they do get the charge in onto the Rainer, and big Ring of Frost. Look at everybody just dying. That was an absolutely monstrous ring. Ween is sacrificing his life for that absolute just bonkers play coming out from Swing. And that's going to give now Clouded Minds a huge push advantage up in the top lane. They've got a Shaman Camp and a Catapult, and there's still 10 seconds before anybody is up on the side of Randy Newman. There aren't any real ultimates here for this, so it's, you know, there's the Hyperion's obviously back. He was dead. There's no Army of the Dead, so they just have to make do with what they've got. And right now, that's at least half of this keep. And now if Clouded Minds can pick this up, not only does that get a keep, this could very well be game. Let's take a look at talents. We haven't looked at those in a while. Level 16's available, so it is going to be that route for Jaina. And I don't know, this is a tough call. Do you defend at the shrine, or do you defend when they get the shrine? And right now, being a talent down, Randy Newman looks like they're maybe well, I was gonna say I thought they were trying to soak, but already halfway done. I think at this point this is too late. I think they needed to be here right away. They don't have the talent here anyways, so but here they go. The silence coming out, Ring of Frost coming, does not hit anybody this time, but here comes Hyperion as well. And Johanna and Butcher deep in the back. There is the Lamb to the Slaughter, but Butcher goes down first and Johanna as well. But they do ultimately get that kill onto the Stukov. I don't think it's enough. And once again, they're not 16 yet, so they're still in a really bad spot. And now Brightwing getting caught by the root from Zednam. And with this Mortar Punisher coming in, we will have most of Randy Newman available. But they're still missing that level 16. And Genji getting caught by the Punisher, that's a lot of damage that he just took. Half of his health there. And this Punisher is still at about 90%. So something's got to happen right here. Butcher still has quite a few stacks to go. He's sitting at 61. But Clouded Minds is backing away. I guess... Well, yeah, they had no Stukov, so... That's fair. That's fair. Trying to go 4-4. But they do get a keep out of it. Clouded Minds do. And they're going to start working on getting as many of these camps as they can to keep the pressure up in these lanes. Expect to see... Apparently not what I thought I was going to see. So they're going to rotate along into the bot lane here. They do have a catapult. They do see a couple of people in the mid lane. I don't believe that they saw any of the heroes here in the top, but they may have seen them on the rotation. And with Hyperion here, they're going to go ahead and pop that and work on pushing down this bottom keep. And that's going to help them get even closer there to level 20. Not directly, of course, because forts and keeps don't provide direct XP anymore, but it does give them that trickle XP. And with them having all of their forts and keeps up right now, that is a 100% bonus, because they have 5 times the, or 5 20% bonuses here. But here we go. Nice call coming out from Randy Newman. They do get the secured kill onto Jaina and the Ring of Frost, although ultimately that'll be back up before she's close enough to need to use it. And that's a really important pick from Randy Newman, as not only did they get the kill onto Jaina, they also secured that keep, or I'm sorry, that siege camp, and the XP that goes along with it. So they're inching their way to level 20 with Clouded Minds already sitting at 19 and about 80% of the way toward level 20. With no Jaina here, this is the only thing going on this map, and Randy Newman knows it. There's no Chen and no Butcher. I don't know what they're thinking. This is not a great call. And there's the Johanna popping off the falling sword, coming off the camp. So the Shaman camp is going to get picked up there by Clouded Minds. And now Johanna entirely by herself, a little bit too aggressive there. And now this is a really bad time here for Randy Newman because they have no tank. Jaina's back on the board. Level 20 is available here for Clouded Minds as well. But it looks like they may just elect to go ahead and grab this Punisher. I don't know what they're doing. They're going to go mid. They're going to clear out mid, maybe start working on that wall. And see how far they can get. They do still have that Shaman camp walking in the top lane, so eventually that's got to be dealt with as well. As the Immortal is calling that their core is under attack. And this should be a pretty quick clear here. Johanna will be available, so this is going to be a 5 versus 5, and it's going in the bot lane, which is wide open. There's no keep available. Catapults have already pressured all the way to where the original fort, the original keep was located. We're going to see this rotation in from Randy Newman. Arthas pops off the roots, slowing it down a little bit here, and Johanna going in does get the stun onto Stukov. Butcher does charge onto the Stukov, but not quite able to secure the kill yet. Johanna's going to be the first to fall. Starnheit somehow just able to survive as Butcher and Brightwing go down, and that's going to be a follow-up kill onto the Genji, and Randy Newman there also going down. Another full team wipe for Clouded Minds as they've got this Frozen Punisher making their way to the core for their victory dance here, riding those clouds that so closely match their green logos. And that's looking like it's going to be game number 2 going over to Clouded Minds, sending them into the Coastal Finals. Seven kills to 20 in this game. Certainly had some opportunities there. They did get some of those kills that they were looking for. I just think that they didn't quite have what they needed out of the Butcher comp to get the wave cleared. It was close. They certainly had the opportunity in that second one. But it was a bit of a gamble. They tried to make it work a little bit earlier, and that Arthas made it very difficult. But I think, I still have to say that the Stukov provided so much value to this comp and countering out the Butcher. Pop off these talents here, and let's see if we can get somebody in for an interview. Lobby 5. All right, so we are going to get ourselves an interview here in just a moment.
Heyo.
Hello and welcome. Is it just you joining? Just making sure.
Yeah, it's just me.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, Tiger, on your victory. 2-0 over Randy Newman. How you feeling after that? Going to the Coastal Finals now.
Oh man, we are absolutely elated. We're on top of the world. We have been playing in this tournament for a while, and we've never made it to the finals. So we're super excited about moving on.
That's fantastic. How did you guys do last season? Because you were in D West last season as well, right?
Yes, we were. How did we? I think we missed the playoffs, or we lost in the first round. I don't know. All the seasons kind of blend together. But either way, this season has been a great success already. We're pumped.
Absolutely. Well, and you guys were just a little bit behind Full Meta Jacket on the points, if I remember correctly. Only one to get to the second place seed. So, if you guys ultimately last season were, out of the playoffs or out in round 1 to go from that to number 2 here in this season is an absolutely fantastic change of circumstances for you. Is there anything that you attribute that to?
Yeah. I mean, we added Zed Nim, our tank, this year, and he's awesome, really good, and the team chemistry is great. Weenus has taken over as shot caller. I think everybody knows Weenus, and he's amazing. So he keeps the team even keel and is brilliant in telling us where to go. And then our backliners are amazing. And then, I mean, Swing has been playing out of her mind. She learned Jaina this year, and that's been really good. Her rings are ridiculous. And then we moved Star over to healer, and he, turns out is like an all-star healer. So yeah, a lot of tweaks this season, and it looks like it's all coming together.
Well, you guys, when you guys go back and watch this, you're going to find, numerous times where I point out little things like that monster ring that Swing got there. Not the second team wipe, but the first team wipe that you guys had, where Weenus got sent back to the graveyard, I think.
Yeah, that was a big ring.
Yeah, that was absolutely just crazy. But I do. You just, because you pointed this out here, I want to say, for me personally, 100% MVP in this was definitely Star. The Stukov play was fantastic and really countered what they were trying to do in both games. And I can understand, why there would be such a high priority on that Stukov. And I'm honestly shocked and amazed that they didn't ban it out after game 1, frankly.
Yeah. I don't really want to give away too much because we're going into the finals, because Star's really not good. He's not good on Stukov at all, so don't ban him because you will never play him.
Of course. Yeah, don't watch the game.
Yeah. Well, we were surprised he didn't get banned, and we'll see what happens next time. But yeah, his Stukov is really good. He's got a lot of other good healers too, so don't worry about it. But his Stukov's real good.
So I do want to ask you. So game 1, you guys pick up the Stukov first. Their response was Johanna and Cassia, and I don't know why. I had the same thought that Butcher was the direction they were going. I don't know that I actually said that on stream, but it didn't look like Butcher was a thing in Div D, at least when I popped up the stats. Is that something you guys had seen in their history, or did you just see that and go, oh, well, obviously they're going Butcher because they're taking all the counters?
They were 4-0 on Butcher. They played it in their previous match against whoever they played before, Disturbance or someone, and the Butcher was amazing. So they have a very, very good Butcher player. So yeah, that was all research. We were, Butcher, when he gets stacked, is scary. So we knew when they went into those blinds that they were kind of denying blinds, and we were like, oh, let's just not even deal with that guy.
Yeah, for sure, and that makes complete sense, especially in that game 1 and then game 2. It was a little bit more clear that, especially with the draft that you pulled up, I mean, as soon as they picked up Butcher, I'm like, Stukov, right? Like, anything he does, you've got the silence, you got the knockbacks, and then you pick the Arthas, and I'm like, okay, so Butcher's just a dead hero. Like, he doesn't do anything now. But you guys did a really fantastic job with your drafting, with your play, really coordinated on that. So, I can't say enough good things about how you guys played tonight. You guys looked like a really strong team and absolutely 100% deserve to be going into the finals. I like to ask at the end of my questions here, what was your favorite moment out of the match that you had tonight?
Oh, hands down, the swing ring into the silence, into everything else, and when we wiped him in that second team fight, it was a great moment, and it was all set up by Swing. So that was, we were just pumped right then. That was awesome.
Well, I have to clarify that. Ultimately, that was set up by the Weenus bait.
The Weenus bait, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Weenus going back to the graveyard thanks to the Butcher charge, followed up by the Genji Swift Strike and all that stuff. Everybody going into that point really set it up so that Swing could get that and recognize that opportunity. And of course, obviously the rest of the team, being there to make that happen. So, you guys played fantastic. In all seriousness, I think that was my favorite moment of the matchup as well. It was so good that you can't not pick it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll watch that a few times.
Right, yeah, just go ahead and put that on repeat. So you guys are playing against then either the winner of Full Meta Jacket and Bloodbath and Beyond. Any thoughts on, is there a team that you'd rather play between those two? Is there anything you want to kind of throw out as a preview, not necessarily about your draft or anything like that, but, just whatever, anything you want to talk about that?
We played Full Metal Jacket, and they're very good. I think we played really good against them earlier in the year, and they still beat us 2-1. And that's been haunting me all year. I would love to have an opportunity to play them again, just because it's such a good matchup. So I really hope we get to play them. But whoever we play, we're just stoked to be in the finals and are hoping to be able to pull out a victory.
Sure. Well, you know what? Bloodbath and Beyond, I know Full Meta. I've cast Full Meta a few times. They're a very strong team, but I got to say, Bloodbath and Beyond looked really strong when they played here a couple days ago. So, either one of these teams is going to be a challenge. I know you guys will rise to the occasion on that. So, good luck with that. But before we go, any shout outs you'd like to make?
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for casting us. Shout out to you. Our subs, Nick Trilliano and Double Jam, have been with us all season, rooting us on. We love you guys. Randy Newman, thanks for playing. I think they were Asmo carry last year. Well, they've been around for a long time. A lot of great guys there. So thanks for that. And to my teammates, dude, we did it. We're in the finals. I love you guys. There's been ups and downs this season, but right now we're flying high. So thanks for sticking with it, and looking forward to the next chapter.
Good deal. Well, don't forget that your whoever your next opponent is, do a little bit more research, because it's best of 5 next week.
Oh wow, that's right. Oh
yep.
Wow, yeah.
Best of 5 for both the Coastal Finals and the Grand Finals. So you're going to need a little bit more spicy goodness in there to make it happen.
Sounds good. We're looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Tiger, for joining me tonight. Have a good night and enjoy your victory dance there.
All right, bud. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right, everybody. That's it. Let's take a look at those brackets, though, before we take off for the night here. Where do we stand currently? Well, those are the original standings, but let's take a look at the brackets themselves. So Clouded Minds, with their victory over Randy Newman, do find themselves into the finals. In the upper half of the bracket, Bloodbath and Beyond and Full Meta Jacket are playing tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. You can find that game. It's the only game currently on the schedule for tomorrow. You can find that game at twitch.tv/LDZiltoid, at, again, 10 p.m. There are some other games coming up this weekend, so make sure you check the schedule for that. There's some heroic games, and looks like another Div D East game. So certainly, if you're here for D West, you should probably be keeping an eye on those D East teams as well, because they're going to be playing against some of them in, or at least one of them here in the Grand Finals. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Both the Division A game that we had earlier and this Division D West game tonight. It's been great, and don't forget the NGS Rewind on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to catch some of those replay casts that didn't get caught earlier in the season or earlier this week. I think we have one playoff game in there right now, so we'll make sure that gets in there. And that's it. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you again soon.